The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is pushing for peaceful coexistence in the West African countries battled with terrorism and military coups. Guterres said this on his visit to Senegal on Sunday, as West Africa, weakened by Sahel crisis, has been further destabilized by successive military coups since 2020 in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso. Regarding West Africa and Sahel, we spoke about joint efforts against terrorism and violent extremism, and about the situation in Burkina Faso, Guinea and Mali. On that point, we agreed on the importance to pursue dialogue with the de facto authorities of these three countries to ensure the return of constitutional order as soon as possible. Senegalese President Macky Sall called for peace in the ongoing Ukraine-Russian crisis that has impacted the world's economy. He called for de-escalation and prioritization of dialogue for the sake of peace. We believe that de-escalation is needed on the Ukrainian theater. Africa will work towards this perspective of peace, of de-escalation, and to prioritize dialogue so that the Russians and the Ukrainians can find a way out, while of course involving all other parties to this conflict. Antonio Guterres further urged rich countries to act on the climate emergency and fulfill their promises of financing assistance to developing countries. The truth is that we are very far from being on track to reduce emissions by 45% by 2030 and to reach the goal of keeping global warming under 1.5 degrees. African countries which are not responsible for the problem are often the first victims. Now it is the time to act. It is time to keep the promise of $100 billion per year that was made in Paris. The pledge of $100 billion a year in funding from developed countries to developing countries started in 2020 was made when the Paris International Climate Agreement to limit global warming was signed in 2015.